Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Virgo. So, the sun has moved today into Taurus, and you get the first reading with the sun in Taurus, a fixed sign. Also, Earth is the middle of the spring, and giving through the sun the light to the moon, which is in your sign, and you as an earth sign is feeling the energy of Taurus, the fixedness of Taurus, that now the roots are establishing, that now the energy of spring is here, and we feel it gets lighter and more beautiful with the green leaves, and everything is growing and flourishing. And so here we have Venus ruling Taurus, right? And Taurus, of course, is always beauty and food and enjoying, right? What we're cooking and what we put into our body. And of course, also the money and the banks that are established and helping us, of course, to make a lot of money. And so you are ruled by the Mercury energy, right? Mercury is the planet that brings us the information, that brings us the language. And so you are more into a more of a higher purpose by not being too much in digging into the earth, right? But you love food. You love also to eat in a really good way, because you're the sixth house of health, and also it's important what you eat, right? Because that's where the health begins, in what kind of food and thoughts we put in our brain. So ruled by Venus and ruled by Mercury, very interesting combination, right? We're going to the left to your new moon, and we notice that we have here now a combination that could sometimes be a little bit intense, right? Because he's the king and you are the knight. But if you understand that you're both earth elements, right, that's where you can find your common sense. The yoga position for Taurus is, of course, a movement. We don't have the two pillars anymore that are fixed. We move, we act, we do something when we want to change the world, particularly as a priest, right, or a rabbi, or a mullah. Any of these spiritual teachers, right, it's you gotta live it, and you gotta not sit on this throne anymore. It doesn't work. For you, I gave you mountain pose, and the mountain pose is past and future coming here together and uniting, and the mountain of the Fool is waiting here again. So this is just today to Sun and Moon. If we include the other planets, then of course this moment doesn't exist only once a year, but only once in your life. You are the Knight of Pentacles. Here in Salvador Dali's, he has the white horse going to the left. And you recognize immediately that you are understanding that to the left is the soul and to the right is to the human path. And now you are going further and further into your month where you get sun and new moon both in your sign. Is your birthday between August 13 and September 11, then this is your court card. You are, as a Virgo, the alchemist, and an alchemist can unite things, particularly water and fire. You are the sixth house of work and routine, and we see the phases of the moon here beautifully, and you know exactly what to do, right? When you see here this six-petaled flower, it's the hexagram, and you are connected through the sixth house to this beautiful symbol. If your birthday is before or after, please look in the description. I have listed, of course, all the cards that I'm using here, and of course also the meaning of their position, etc., and also all the court cards. Back to the last reading where you had Aries Sun highlighting Virgo Moon. 11 Cups, the inner teacher has appeared, and now you know why. 11 Cups is a portal, and a portal in love, in the way you understand love, in the way you work with love, and learning again and again how to love, more love, right? And so we are going to look this month into Venus, right? Last month through Aries we looked into Mars. Mars is the tower, and Venus is the Empress. And so we're going to look at the Empress. What is the Empress bringing? And I'm pulling a card out of the Inner Wise deck. It's a German deck, but I can translate whatever now is coming here to you. And I'm gonna pull out of 309 cards, I'm gonna pull one card. And you got the number 56. So we have the Hierophant here, and in the 6 we have the Lovers, Gemini, which comes after the Hierophant, so the next reading already. And when we calculate it together, we get the 11. And like I said, the 11 is a portal. The 11 is important that we understand the 11 as an inner teacher, and you had 11 cups, right? So it appeared, and now you know why, and now you know why. So you got here the number 56, and we're going to look into what is the 56 bringing you. It's the animals, and the 56 is the beaver. He's the architect. So he is the one that actually builds the house, and it's letting you know that you need to put everything away that blocks you from the project that you want to create. Teamwork is important here, and do not stop because something is not working. You find always a way. Even if it's an alternative way, it's a good way. Don't say you're not doing it because it's not functioning that way, and you like to sometimes do that because you as a Virgo, you're a little bit like, if it's not working the way I want it, then I'm not happy. And so put your ideas into reality, make your dreams come true, and also see that you need to bring this project into a completion, because you are the number 9, you are the completion, and that completion is important, because if not, the push of the stream of water will break the dam of the beaver, right? And you need to finish the project so that it withstands all the difficult energies that are breaking through right now. So it's beautiful, right? You're getting an animal here, you're getting the beaver, and the beaver is working with others, and in that work with others, he's like able to create quite something big. And this is really important, right? Because the inner teacher is coming through here. And so we're gonna start the reading and begin on the position of the Fool, which is connected with Uranus. And you must understand that Uranus is actually conjuncting Jupiter. And so here you have Capricorn coming on the position of the Fool. The Fool is with that foolish, crazy idea that you feel that you maybe are attached to a Capricorn, or you're attached to the work, or you're attached to always something outside of you, right? And you're kind of like, okay, what is it? But you also have your intuition here in your belly. Notice that you know exactly what it takes to come into the third eye, because this is the 15, the Wheel of Fortune. and the 5 senses. But the Wheel of Fortune could also be the 1, the Magician. And the one and only eye is the 3rd eye. And so here, when we calculate the 15 together, we get the 6, and that's the 3rd eye. And the 0, this crazy idea of self-love, is appearing through Uranus, through you knowing that you want to be happy, right? The 6 is here and the 5 is here. And it's really interesting because the 15, right, then becomes with the 1 the 6. And so here the card is really like letting you know, yes, don't see your life being attached or cut off by source, right? And so Capricorn is always a little bit that career move that we're taking, and I think you can learn something from this, right? You learn from Capricorn that not everything is negative. Just listen to your guts. Then on the position of the Magician. The Magician is connected with Mercury, and Mercury is ruling you, and so the magic is coming here through the lower world, and the lower world is the number 31. So the 31 is then the Empress and the Magician working together to create here in the underbelly, here deep down, something that is important, because the 4 appears, which is the Emperor, which was in the last reading Aries Sun, and now with the 1 you get the Hierophant, the 5. So the Hierophant is literally saying, yes, you are understanding that sometimes deep down in the subconscious we get attached to certain things, but here also we understand that this is part of the game of duality. And so here, just watch and observe what is coming up here in this attachment. So I want to see what is coming up here, and of course the Shaman of Cups is coming, which is a Scorpio, and the Scorpio energy is letting you know, dive deep into your subconscious and see where can you love even more. He's the shaman of water. He's the shaman that deals with love, deals with the mystical side, because he's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is going by the end of November into Aquarius, into the new thinking, into new working, into the AI. It's coming. We cannot change it. We cannot stop it. It's happening. But how do you use it, right? Same way with the phone. At the beginning, everybody was like, the phone, it's not good to have. Now everybody has a phone. It's almost like it's normal. It's part of you. But it's like how you use it. It's really important that you understand that you're not getting attached to nothing. No matter what time frame it is, it could be 15th century, it could be year 1. It doesn't matter. It's like we don't want to get attached. We need to awaken again and again to the possibility that you have here now. The 5 and the 8 is the 13. And the 13, like we know, is of course then the transformation, is the Death card. And through that transformation we get the 4. And the 4 is again, like we know, the Emperor. So here you are, knowing that something is letting you know you need to learn more about how things functions. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the 4 of Wands, which is Venus in Aries. And so Venus, through the Hierophant, brought you here the Beaver, brought you here something that you want to build, and a project that you need to create and do it. And you don't do it because you want to make money. You do it because you want to do it. It's coming out of you. You cannot help it. It's stronger than you. And so the 4, the high time of the 4 of Wands, and the 2 is the 6. So here comes the 6/6 portal to the Devil, to the attachment. And you also had the 6 here. So 3 times 6, 1, 2, 3. It's the hexagram, and it's not the sign of the beast, right? The Devil was made the devil because it's one of the most fertile and of course one of the most sexiest months, because it's the sexual energy that creates the next generation. And the 6 is a strong number, it's a powerful number, right? And so the 6 comes here in your intuition because she's the intuition. Meanwhile, the magician is the inspiration that you get through the Fool. Like the Fool is literally saying, oh, you don't think of attachment anymore. You want to create this project no matter what. Do it. Make it happen. Because the 11 is appearing here, right? Make it happen, that project. Then on the position of the Empress comes Scorpio. The number 13, the Wheel of Fortune plus the Empress. And so here we see that the 4 appears. The 4 and the 3 is the 7. But first the 13 and the 3 is the 16, is the Tower, is Mars. And that was last reading, Aries Sun in Virgo Moon, right? Recognize, open yourself up to transformation, to change. And he goes to the left, to the new moon, like you. And he is letting you know, cut off, right, the senses, and you get a new body, you get a new life. And so the 16 turns into the 7, the emotional intelligence is left when we have understood something, when we have grown and we get a new life. And the new life is important because through the Empress we got here as Venus, right, here the Beaver. So it's important that you're creating what it is that you want to create. Whatever project it is, do it. It's important. You have the help. You need to do it. Then on the position of Taurus. Taurus is bringing you the 5 of Pentacles, which is Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury, which is your planet, brings you through Taurus a 5-5 portal, 2 times 5. Be creative in the way you use the 5 senses. Be creative in the way you see the 5 senses. They're helping you to look into the world out there, but also to look into the world inside of you. They're the doors and the windows. And then the 6th sense is the 3rd eye, the inner knowing, the inner seeing. And so here, the 5 of Pentacles is sometimes not seeing that you think that your self-worth is not wanted. Right? That you are poor and that you're not part of a society, that you're not part of people who maybe have money, who have a career, who have something going for them. No, it's not that. Self-worth is created because you create it. And it's reverse. So it could be done, right? Sometimes the reverse means it could be done. And it comes not often, the reverse, only with the circular cards, because there you cannot control it. But this card fell down, and when I picked it, it was reversed. So it's a sign. I think it's done. That self-worth that you've been working on yourself, it's like you cut off those 5 senses and you go into the 6th sense. You're going into the 3rd eye. You are listening to your guts. So here, the 5-5 portal is saying, yes, go for it. 2 times 5. Become creative in the way you bring yourself in, because you're a spirit. You're not defined in what family you're born in. You're defined in what you're making out of your life. On the position of the Knight of Pentacles comes the 9 of Swords, which is connected with the constellation Mars and Gemini. Now Gemini, we had the 6 here. Gemini comes after. Gemini, the 6 comes here through the 15 when we calculate it together. And the 6 came also through the 4 and the 2. The intuition and using your intuition in the right way. And you understand that Mars is the Tower, was the last reading. And something in your dreams is like letting you know something, the 9 is you, right? You, the completion here is, it's almost like in your dream is something speaking to you And the 9 and the 6th house is the 15. You're getting dreams. I hope you're not getting nightmares, but usually this card also speaks about nightmares. So look deep within what is going on with the Capricorn, or what is going on with your attachment to business, to work. And the 6 is left. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 6. 4 times the 6, right? It's the heart that is letting you know the 6 is the hexagram. The 6 is a powerful symbol that is used in many religions, particularly in the Jewish tradition. And so the self-worth walks into deeper down into the subconscious, into the lower world. And when we walk into the lower world, right, we see, where do I have still a deficiency in self-love, in recognizing who am I and why am I? And then on the position of Virgo comes the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is connected with Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is for you the opposite sign. That's when you get the full moon. The light, right? Sun in Pisces gives the light to the full moon in Virgo. And I think that's when you realize you need to walk away from something. It's important that you see that, because you see 5 cups, again, the 5 senses, and then the 3, the 2 cups, the duality, and the one and only cup that we need to listen to. And so the 9 and the 8 is the 17, is Aquarius, is the star. And the star is letting you know you are the star. If you love yourself deep down in your subconscious, because the moon is coming through here, and you feel that you want to love yourself and that you allow every feeling to be there in your subconscious, and whatever it is that you need to move on from. And so here, of course, we see that the 8 is left from the 17, right? The 17 is the Wheel of Fortune and the emotional intelligence that we gain, and the 8 is then left. The 8 is saying you gotta go for something that is more important than what you thought is good here. It's important that you move on and go wherever it is you need to go. So recognize that, see that, right? Then on the position of the moon as a dream oracle. And of course we just had here the 8 of Cups, right, coming on the moon. But here the moon is bringing you now the root girl, the disowned self, the number 46 for the Emperor, 6 again, the Lovers, 10, the Wheel of Fortune is spinning and turning. You finding your roots, the way Taurus is bringing you now the roots, right? Because it's like, that's really roots. And Taurus brought you the 5 of Pentacles, the self-worth. What are you worth? Define your self-worth. Define what it is that you bring to the game. And so the 18 is the 9 and the 10 is the 19. The 19 is the sun. Shine. Shine like the moon is shining, because you can shine. The sun is giving the full light to the moon. Full moons are important. Notice that when there is a full moon, that you create your own ceremony and celebration, but particularly the new moon that you are going towards, and you go deep down into your roots, you go down into the lower world, you go down into the underbelly, and you're learning whatever there is to learn. And of course I want to know what is coming up, and it's the 10 of Cups. So you have 8 cups and 10 cups is 18. It's again the moon. It's the subconscious. It's the moon. And here the moon is actually giving you the empowerment that you know that you can be happy when you know who you really are, when you let yourself grow roots, when you arrive, and when you allow yourself to be part of this human race, even though you're moving on, right? Because the Eight of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. Like I said, you're leaving something that is good for the growth of the higher self. And this is important. And so now in your subconscious, you know that the greater good is that there is 10 of Cups. And 10 of Cups is that community, is people that you love to be together with. And you have a 10-10 portal, because the 9 gives itself up. So you're learning to see that you are growing and that you are becoming here a 9 cups. Okay, then, beautiful. On the position of the sun comes here the 33. And the 33 is a special number. It's the out of the secret brotherhood, the degree, the highest degree that we can gain. And so here, the horse of usually the sun card, there is a horse with a little child on it, and Salvador Dali created quite a dark sun card, a Leo that is looking quite sad down here in the corner. And so you are realizing the deeper down you go into the roots here, into the eyes, into the purity, you will come out cleared. You will come out powerful, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 6, right? The 6 that is in here, and the 6 of the Capricorn, the devil, and the 6 with the High Priestess and the 4 of Wands, and the 6 that comes through the Empress, right? When we calculate the 13 and the 3 together, we get the 16 again. There's a 6 as well, but then when we calculate together, we get the 7, which is the emotional intelligence. So the 33 I do not calculate together, so we have a 10 and a 33, and we had a 10 here, right? And so you're learning something profound by going deeper down into the subconscious, into your roots, into who are you? How happy can you be down there? And as I think now I understand why this is facing down, because you're going down, down into who are you, how important you are for many people, and that you know that you can bring important messages through Mercury here into this world. And your self-worth is not defined through money. Your self-worth is defined through what are you doing with the money. What are you doing here? And so we see the white and the dark, right? And so I want to see what is coming up here when you go down into the dark, into the roots. It's the 6 of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. Now you had here Scorpio, right, as a court card, the Shaman of Cups. And you had Scorpio as a major arcana, the transformation, death. And you had the lower world. And Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. Taurus and Scorpio give each other the light for the full moon. And so the self-worth is coming up through the 6 of Cups, because you had here 10 cups and 8 was 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. And 24, the 6 is left. So the 6, again, is letting you know 6 is important. The 6 is your house. The 6th house is work and routine, and also health. How important is your health? How important is your happiness? And you remember happy times, because the 6 of Cups is those happy times back then. But important, the 6 is left. The 6 and the 33 and the 10. So the 10 of the Sun and the 6 is 16 is the Tower, and the 7 the emotional intelligence, is being experienced, the deeper down we go. Deeper down we dig into our childhood, into our past lives, and see what is there. What can I learn there? Because now in the position of the world, and the world is here with Salvador Dali, always a little like intense, because we see this face in a square, and the world is Saturn. Saturn is square, is of course the border and the three graces of love, hope, and belief. And the Seven of Pentacles is coming up, and the Seven of Pentacles is that work that we sell when we know our self-worth. So 5 coins and 7 coins is 12 coins. 12 is the 12th house of spirituality and art. Pisces, and Pisces is or has come here through Mars in Pisces, through the 10 of Cups, Mars in Pisces. So Pisces is talking to you, your opposite sign, and so here we get the 12, and the 12 is the 3. The 3 is left, the Empress, right, that brought you the beeper. Your project is important, and it's almost saying, yes, you got to put that project out there and do it. Don't do it for money. Never do it for money. Money will follow if you know what you're doing. Money will come, but not because you want money, because then you go into this. That's the difference. The subtle difference is like, here I do it for money, and here I do it because I love doing it, and the money just comes. And so we have here the 21, and the 21 is then calculated together, the 3 and the 7 is the 10. A 10, a new cycle can begin, and you will see that you can sell what you have created. Whatever project you're doing is important. Do it and bring it out into the world, because the people need it. Look at this. It's like there's an intense world out there because it's part of duality. And in that duality, we're learning, though, to define our self-worth. And look how beautiful. There is something, because you're going into your new moon. You're going deeper down, 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 down. And your new moon comes then in your month. You're getting the new moon. And it's just at the beginning, right? We just had your full moon in the month of Pisces. And so now you're learning that every new moon is a moment where you can go deeper within and see how much are you attached to certain things. And this is where the healing comes in. Don't get attached to the project itself. Go and get attached to the fact that you have a project and that you have something to create and to bring it into the world. And the money will come and follow. And so this is the closing of the reading, right? That you learn that the 10 is a new cycle. You learn that, yes, the 6 here is giving you then the 6 through the 33, right? The 6. When you go deep down, you know it's in your guts. It's something that you want to do, and it's important for you to do it. So do it, and don't think about it anymore. Just do it. Wow, I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Gemini, and Gemini is here coming up with the 9 of Swords. And in the 9 of Swords, of course, always remember the mind, right? We don't want to go into that attachment of the mind. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.